Hello everyone and welcome to another Tamagotchi review video. This time we're going to be reviewing and taking a look at the Molcartchi, which is the Tamagotchi Nano collaboration with Molcar. And Molcar, if you're not familiar, is a series of little shorts that are like stop motion, like kind of esque little cute little shorts, and they're all on Netflix, so you can basically watch the whole series in less than an hour because all the episodes are about like 8 minutes in length, so they're fairly short, fairly sweet, and I actually watched all of them prior to this Tamagotchi releasing a few months ago, and I've had a bit of time with it, but overall, a bit of a disclaimer, I'm feeling slightly burnt out on the Tamagotchi Nanos, mainly because there are so many and I'm getting each of the releases. That doesn't mean that I don't like them any less, I still really enjoy them, but at one point I was running 4 Tamagotchi Nanos and I was just like, oh, they're all basically the same, which I guess is a good and a bad thing. Typically, I'm assuming that they're not expecting you to buy every single Tamagotchi Nano that there is, but I am, so they're more or less all the same. So if you like a certain franchise, you get that Tamagotchi Nano. But still, I will review it with all the love that I can, because I do still love the Tamagotchi Nano series quite a lot, and the Molcar Tamagotchi is no exception. So, first of all, something that is, I guess, kind of unique about the Molcartchi is that the death or bad ending hits a lot harder than all the other Tamagotchi Nanos. It basically makes you feel like a terrible person, so let's take a look. So he's crying, and he's really sad because I took bad care because I wanted to show off this horrible ending. Just does the Tamagotchi dying beep at you, which, yeah, it's kind of sad, because when you usually hear that, it's your Tamagotchi dying. It's similar to the Digimon one, which is just a long and painful beep of death. So let's start a new one, and hopefully this one. Yep, it really goes hard into the. This is a sad ending. Now it gives you the start again, which is all cheerful and happy, and we have our little guinea pig cars, which are the characters in the show. And we start off with our little baby there, and we can do the usual food, and we'll notice that the menus are food and game, so they're in English, despite this being a Japanese release, and then we get icons for the food. The thing that I don't like about the Molcartchi, which the other Nanos don't have, is the fact that these buttons are not as responsive as the rest of them. In my unboxing video I mentioned this, and I thought maybe I got a dud, but I've actually seen other people complain about this flaw. So it's a flaw specifically with the Molcartchi. It's something I haven't noticed in any of the other ones. It's a weird button error that these ones have, and it kind of, my enjoyment of the Tamagotchi is kind of hurt by that, because I don't really want to play this one because of the buttons, which is a shame because the characters are really cute. So let's take a look at the games, and you kind of have to like shove your finger in there for it to register. So these are the games we have. So we've got the first one, and honestly, I haven't really played this much, so I can't remember what the games are. I mean, when I haven't played this much, I haven't played it since the release. Oh yes, the timing one, which I'm really bad at. So you've got to click the button when the little exclamation mark shows up, and you have to click it exactly when it shows up, which is the one that I'm fairly terrible at. The one I'm worst at, as I always mention, is the obstacle one, but this is definitely a second place for the ones that I'm terrible at. But I still did fairly well, and that's something that is something I like about the Nanos, is the games are fairly easy to do well on. However, the fact that the buttons aren't super responsive means that the games are a little bit harder, especially that one. Okay, this one is... this one is from the the police car chasing the robber episode, and I have to dodge the obstacles, but because of the buttons, I apparently walked straight into the obstacles. So yeah, the overall enjoyment of the game is hit by the fact that we don't have those buttons. But yeah, I like how all the Nano games are fairly short and sweet. That's something that's all the Nanos have in common. I don't like it when I play the game for ages and they're not particularly fun. A lot of the Tamagotchi connections have that problem where the games go on. Oh, this is a button mashing one, which also isn't as fun because of the sensitivity of the buttons. But yeah, the connection games I've mentioned quite often aren't fun. They go on for a long time, and they don't really give you much of a reward. They don't really decrease the weight at all. They don't really give you that many gotchi points, and they're just not fun. But the Nano games, while they don't really have any functionality for gotchi points or weight in the Nanos, they do just feel a little bit more rewarding. So yeah, there are 3 games on those, which I've just gone through, and the food. And of course you can check status by pressing C, of course if you click the button correctly. And so we get a close-up there, and then if we press C and A, we get the ability to mute the sound. It says on and off in English, no icons here like some of the newer ones have. But yeah, so that's a brief overview of the Molcartchi. It does poop, so a lot of the Tamagotchi Nanos don't show poop. It's like something else, like the Demon Slayer ones, you're being attacked. The Evangelion ones, your screen's filled with LCL. It's something that's in-universe. The Molcars do poop, so they're more traditional Tamagotchis or traditional Digimon virtual pets where they are a living creature that you feed and clean up the poop of. Other ones kind of have it to be the poop is something else that makes sense in-universe. But for this one, it's just poop, which makes sense because it is a guinea pig. It's also a car, but it's also a guinea pig. Because the roster isn't as large as the Kamen Rider one or the Twisted She one, it has animations. There are a few that don't have the animations because of the large rosters, but because this one has a fairly normal roster for a Tamagotchi Nano, we do get those animations every so often. And the animations that play are ones that are from the TV show. So they're references to those, which is kind of cute, especially if you've watched the Molcar show. Of course, I recommend doing so because it doesn't take up that much of your time, and it's all available on Netflix. And I was about to say for free, but Netflix isn't free. I pay for it, but because it's a subscription service, I've forgotten that I pay for it because I've paid for it since it came out here, so since 2015. But anyway, so that's the Molcartchi. Fairly cute Tamagotchi, but definitely hurt by the fact that the buttons aren't super sensitive compared to the other releases. What am I going to give it? I think the enjoyment's definitely hurt by the fact that the buttons aren't responsive. So instead of the usual 10 for the Tamagotchi Nano, I'm going to have to give it a 9.5. It's still enjoyable, but yeah, I'm just hurt a little bit by those buttons. In terms of ease of use, I'm also going to dock it half a point. Usually I give these like a 10. I might give this one a 9 for ease of use. Yeah, I'll give this a 9 for ease of use and a 9.5 for enjoyment. So slightly docked from what I usually give for the Tamagotchi Nanos, and that's mainly because of the buttons. But overall, I do recommend it. It is cute, especially if you enjoyed the Molcar TV show. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the Tamagotchi Molcar. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I think I would, but the buttons are the buttons are a real shame. It's kind of a shame that that's like the main bad thing, but otherwise it is as good as the rest of the Nanos, especially if, as I said, you enjoyed the Molcar shorts. They're very cute. But yeah, it's a nice one. I like / I'm heartbroken by the fact that the bad ending is just so heartbreaking and kind of like, wow, you messed up. But otherwise, yeah, I like it. A lot of thought did go into it, even if those buttons aren't fantastic. But in any case, those are my thoughts for the Tamagotchi Molcar collaboration. Have you got this Tamagotchi Nano? What are your thoughts about it? let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, as always, I will see you on the next one. Bye!